Good morning to everybody. Thank you for watching the video. If you have already entered my YouTube channel, so I will request you to please subscribe it and also request you to see the psychology and the life part 1. There is one video already uploaded in the YouTube that was the module 1, part 1 and the introductory nature of the psychology and the life. Now we are going to discuss about the applications and applied nature of the psychology. And as I already told you in the video 1, that there are several fields of the psychology, the emerging fields of the psychology, where we are seeing the presence of the psychological things in our own life. So we are talking about this, and this is the your we are seeing this syllabus, and the Bangalore University syllabus is having this subject. And the second module we are talking about, which is related to the social world. So psychology, what happens in the society, psychology plays a very vital role, because I already reiterated in the first module that we are having a two different lives. One is the professional life as well as the social life. The professional life, where we do work, we spend the daytime in the organizations and properly guided by the rule, the vision, the mission, the goal of the organization. But when we come back to our home, we start living on our own space. Our attitude changes, our behavior changes, our mindset changes, our interactive pattern also changes. So point comes that, if we are behaving differently in the organization in the daytime, in the evening time or the night time, our behavior is showing a different angle. It has to be, it has to be, because people call about the work-life balance, because we will be fully living in our social life, will be fully working in our professional life. Both must be in going on in tandem, going in hand in hand, going in synchronized way, going in a harmonial way. Then only a human being can be, you can say that's having testing the success of the life. But unfortunately, some people are so workaholic. We say workaholic because they are what they carry their office works to the house. They bring their assignments, they bring their pending works, they bring their algorithms, they bring their programs, their coding behavior to the evening. So in the evening, they also do their office works. So in that case, what happens, that hampers their social life. The person who is supposed to be relaxed, a person who should be supposed to be developing his own personal attributes, personal likingness, he is not able to do. So if all the time you will be doing the official works, then it may happen that we are completely preoccupied with the official nitty-gritties. Our pattern of behavior gets changed, our pattern of interaction also gets changed. We are not fit to the situation, we are not fit to the circumstances around us. Then people will be noticing a great change in our behavior. So in this context, this is the module which is putting our psychology or its applications to the social aspects of our life. And this is the first one, the interpersonal communication. Because we communicate, we are a social animal, we are a social living organism, we communicate to other people. So how we are communicating, and what are the basis of our communications? If people have already studied the subject like the communicative English and the business English, so you must be well aware about the communication process, the communication channels. We are not going to talk about that, we are going to talk about how psychology is boosting the communications. So in this case, if you see these slides, so it's all basically aiming towards the development of relationship, personal versus professional. Communication is a different at all the skill stages. Okay, because there are several skill stages. If I say you, if you remember as a management student, you must be knowing there are three different levels of the skills. One, we talk about the technical skills. Another, we talk about the human skills. Another, we talk about the conceptual skills. Technical skills or whatever the applicable skills, what you are learning from your technical schools or business schools, you are directly applying to the field. So that is usually comes in the picture in the mind of the lower level of management. I mean, suppose you are joining, you are starting your career as an officer, then it will go to officer, then senior officer, then assistant manager, manager. Up to that, we usually brand it, we usually call it as a lower level of management, because these people are highly involved with the technical aspects of the organization. Second level, which is a usually tactical level, in the middle level of management, the level is middle. I mean, from the manager to senior manager, then the chief manager or the deputy general manager, DGM, then general manager. We take up to general manager or chief manager in certain companies are branding them, giving the designations like this. That is the middle level of management. So in the middle level of management, who usually deal with the tactical decisions, contrary to the lower level of management who deals with the operational decisions. Both are completely different. It will be little bit more severe, more strategic in nature, but not strategic nature in that case of the top management. Because top management are taking all these conceptual skills, they require the conceptual skills, the planning, coordination, staffing, and they take the strategic decisions in their life, in the organizational life. If any failure in the strategic decisions, that will completely jeopardize the entire plan, that will sabotage the entire organizational stability, that will affect the entire organizational sustainability. But it is not like in the operational stage or the lower stage of the management. So across the line, one parallel line you will be seeing in your books, that is the human skill. Human skill, what is our topic here, that is the relation skill. How we are maintaining the relationship, how we are communicating among the people we are talking to this. So point is that, if you see the skill level, technical skill is a higher in application in the lower level of management, but lower in application in the top level management. On the contrary, the conceptual skills are higher in the top level management, lower in the lower level of the management. But I stress on here, the human skills are invariably same across the level of the management. It doesn't change. I mean, it signifies that you are bound to show human relationship and your interactive patterns in an aligned way, in the organizational sanctioned way or the recommended way across the level of the management. I mean, people should like you, you should like the people, you should communicate with them properly. So these things are your psychology applications. So we are going deeper inside it. So these are the factors which are forming the basis of the communication. First one is the appearances. Appearances, how we appear to other people. Suppose somebody is well dressed, well groomed, well combed, then people will accept it. But somebody is shabbily dressed, or they are not well combed, you will be having a spiky hair and you will be sitting in the meeting, then people may not appreciate you. And then it is coming the similarities, competence, disclosure, proximity, rewards, experimenting, intensifying, and declining. These are the factors which are forming the base of the communication. I mean, if you are maintaining the proper level playing field, or like to be with liking and disliking, then people will be seeing a parallel lines to you. People will be saying that your talks, your communication points are perfectly synchronizing to their work life, and your acceptability, your adaptability will be much more higher, and people will be listening to your words. So if these are not in proper shape, these are not in proper order, then people will feel that you are not their man. If the moment they get the impression, then whatever policy, whatever the schemes, whatever the rules you are going to implement, it will be definitely it will not be that effective, or there is a chance that it will be taking a beating. I mean, people, those who are closer to you, they may oppose in the meeting that we do not like this scheme, please withdraw it. You will be astonished what happened this. You will be astonished what happened this. The people who were talking very smooth, very soft to your life, then why suddenly they go against you? So it's all depending upon the communication, the stress of the communication, the level of the communication, the factors of the communication which are shown to you, these slides, that is having very much importance in your own life. So before forming the interpersonal communication, we must be understanding that our appearance must be good, our thought process must be similar to the expected thought process of the people, those who are participating in the meeting. Then we must be having the competence, I mean the subject competence, the knowledge competence, the implementing strategies or the techniques complement and the competence, we must be having it. That if we are having competence, then people will be definitely started talking to you. You might be seeing that certain companies, people are mentoring to the junior people. If I am not wrong, then I know the Tata company is such a company which is putting the mentorship in a big way. They instruct their chief managers, chief engineers to mentor the junior people. They take them 10-20 people with them, which will be very, very similar to the academic institutions where they're having the proctoral systems. We call in the proctoral systems, I mean 10 to 15 or 20 people will be under one faculty member and who will be taking care of them, who will be local guardian to them, all sort of relevant files, so whether it is attendance, whether it is a poor performance, everything comes to the proctoral table. And if the proctor is signing it, the student can go out of this campus, student can go out of this hostel. So these things are going on. So similarly, mentoring also a little bit more broader, where the people are mentoring, they also help you in the social aspects as well. As far as your performance in the organization concerned, that is also there, and your performance or your adaptability to the society is is also very, very paramount, very, very important for the organizational life. So the mentors are also expected to take that. And who are the mentors? That means those who are very much competent to do this. Their level of knowledge is much more higher than you, so that they can be helping you to take you out of the cultural shock. Suppose you go to US to do a particular assignment, you might be feeling awkward to adapt to the society, because the Indian society is completely different to the US society, Canadian society. So their culture, their attitude, their way of dealing and way of interacting is completely different the way we do. We ask a lot of personal questions among the colleagues. Are you married? Are you having kids? Where are your parents staying now? These are, and what is your salary even? These are very, very, very extremely personal questions which are a taboo, to in the Western countries. They do not ask such questions. They do not ask where the wife goes, with whom she talks, with whom she mingles, and where the husband, why the husband is coming late to the house. People don't ask. But in India, people are worried, people are monitoring, people are highly possessive about their spouse, about their partners, where they are going, with whom they are talking, with whom they are dealing, what is happening, why this is happening, why you didn't meet with the persons, why you met that person's, like, and so on. So point here moral is that if you are having a higher level of competence, your acceptability will be higher, your communication will be higher, people will start talking to you. So similarly, proximity, closeness is good. I mean, there is an English adage, with no sight, no mind is there. If you do not see somebody for a longer period of time, then it may happen that you tend to forget the friend. Even the relations are also getting a beating, because the brothers, the sisters are staying scattered all over the globe. They don't able to see each other. So that is why the level of affection or level of bonding, the level of cohesiveness in the family is lost, is deteriorated. That's why we see a lot of family culture is a disbanding, is a downtrend. I mean, we are going to have, or we are already witnessing nucleus families. I mean, parents are staying different, and husband, wife, and child are staying different. And if you ask me what is the reason behind it, I will say that is the employment. Earlier, the employment was completely around the same location. The same location, people either they were doing the business or they are doing the service. But now for employment, people move out of their own district, move out of their province, they move out of their country, they move out their continent. So how come it is be possible? So gradually the cultural invasion is there, the cultural impediments are also there, the impact of the culture is there. So our family is collapsing. The earlier Indian culture was having the joint family system that is steadily collapsing. Now you'll be finding very rare families who are living in a joint family system. So it is not entirely the problem or the wrong attitude of the family. It is because maybe because of the employment, and due to the nature of the employment, the communication is not proper, not successful. So that is why the proximity here, the moral is what I was talking about, the proximity. Proximity means closeness. If you are not close, you are not seeing, then your communication will be problem. Then comes the points of the experimenting and intensifying and declining. I mean, these are the level of the communication. These are the effects of the communication, involvement of the communication. So communication is something which needs to be practiced, needs to be going on. One tip for the young managers, I would like to give it here, that if you do not like a friend, please do not stop communicating. Even if we are communicating angrily, we are conflicting, we are party to conflict, but still there is a silver lining in it. With whom you will fight, with whom we will do conflict, because with whom we love, we like, or otherwise we loved, we liked. I mean, in the past we liked, now we are not liking, so we are conflicting, we are fighting. Why we are fighting? Because we expect them to behave in a particular manner which is acceptable to us. That means what? Our past involvement was there, our future expectation is there, and currently we are fighting. That means communication is there. Possibility of communication is there. So that is why I always request the youngsters, do not stop the communications. Otherwise, there is a tendency of the people that if I do not like it, I will stop talking to you. If you stop communicating, you stop talking, then the relationship will be completely spoiled. It cannot be rebuilt. It cannot be rebuilt. That is why now you can, in a lighter vein, you can say that India, Pakistan keeps talking even after 75 years of independence and 75 years of conflict. Communication doesn't stop. Many Indian Chinese people are continuously communicating. Even if a round failures are there, but still they communicate. Because if they communicate, if the main problem is not solved, at least the peripheral problems can be solved. In that way, there is a scope lies that from the peripheral, we can enter again to the mainframe problem or main stage problem. So that is why communication should be always on, it should be experimenting, and it should be intensifying. The effort should be there to intensify this. Okay, and intensifying here, you can take an example of the social communication or the less formal communications. I mean, if you keep on talking within English with your friends, in the local friends, then your bonding will not be much more higher. We are teaching in the class in English because the mode of instructions, the medium of the instructions is ruled as English, so we are teaching it. But when we are dealing with a customer, are we talking in English? We don't, because the customer is expecting that you talk in his or her mother tongue, and we try to convince him in his own language. So communication, if at times it is a less formal, less guideline followed, then I think the relationship can be better and will be much more sharper. Here, non-verbal communication, I think you people must be knowing from the basics of the communication. There are three types of communication we usually talk. One is the verbal communication, which we are using the words, we using the semantics, and we using the sentences in, you are talking with somebody. The lecture method is the best example of the verbal communication in the class. And the non-verbal communication, if I say stop, if I do not say anything, I say here, then you understand this is a stop symbol. And if I say you like this, then it's an okay symbol. I mean, I am permitting you to go ahead. So these are the non-verbal communication which are also implicated in our life. And we are implement this in a bigger way. The best example, you can see the traffic signal, the traffic post. The traffic constable using a lot of non-verbal communications through which the passersby or the who are the commuters, they understand what actually he intends to pass, whether he allows the vehicles to go ahead or whether he stops our vehicle. So these things are passed by the non-verbal communications that we are talking about. And another form of communication, that is the written, the inter-office memos are there, circulars are there, notices are there, these are email communications are there. These are all written formats. So non-verbal communications, we are without words, wordless, messages on the research note. 30% verbal we are using it, but 60% non-verbal we are using in the daily basis. We may be unmindful, we may not be able to notice that we are using such a large extent of the non-verbal communications. Sometimes we don't talk, but we raise the hand. Yes, I'm there in the meeting. If boss is asking who are in this meeting, then I can raise the hand without saying the words. So that is also a party to this non-verbal communication package. So this is non-verbal communication. Yeah. In the non-verbal communications, we will be coming to several aspects of this. This is the directed gauge. I mean, suppose you are interacting somebody else, then where you should point, where you should see a person's. You cannot, this is wrong that you are seeing below the neck or you are seeing the chest of the interactor or who are talking to you. If you lower your eye contact, then people may take it as a sign of weaknesses. This will be only possible where you are talking in the social front, social discussion. So you see the picture, you see this picture, suppose it's a business gaze. I mean, you are talking to your peers, colleagues, then you focus your eyesight on this area, in the middle areas of your eyes, and a bit part of your lobe, in the frontal lobe, then it is there. Then in the social gaze is there, you can a bit lower. Suppose you are talking to your old friend, school friend, college friend, then you can go up to this. We can talk about this. But if it is an intimate gaze, you are talking to your spouse, talking your relations with the family, friends, then you can go see lower. But in official, if you are seeing the lower than you are seeing the chest, then people don't find it comfortable. This is not appropriate. Yeah, this is the moves. You can see that, how these are the picturizing. This is the, body language. This is the part of the body language, the non-verbal communications that is there we are talking about. And these are happily, this lady is happily surprised, happy and surprised, happily, disgusted. I mean, she is not believing you. She doesn't have any full, intention of believing you. She is having a doubt, whatever the information you are passing to her. So like this. And this is sadly, so sadly angry. This is a sad, fearful, and angry, disgusted. These are the different, emotional things that we usually encounter in our life. And this is another body language, non-verbal, we call it a haptics. I mean, the food. If you see that, yes, let's do it. This symbol, it is showing, it is meaning is that let's do it. And this is, yes, I'm there for you, is a caring nature, and this is a consoling, like that, you please don't worry, I know you are passing through a sad time, but I'm there. So these are the connecting, you see there's a connecting people, people are indicating, people are supportive. So without saying the words, if you touch them, if you feel them like this, then also we can understand it. And this we are talking about gestures, how these are not recommended postures, and these are also recommended postures where we are standing it, where we are working it. So everything showing have a different meaning, different intention is there. And these are the postures, are the we are showing the fidgets, the postures. This is the thumbs up, you say, this is the okay, this is the victory. We use in our daily life. If we see that we are calling, you are giving a telephone sign here, please call me. Suppose we are showing that, you are at the end of your meeting, you show this sign, then people will understand that please call me, follow me. So like this, these are all having different meanings in the non-verbal, and this is also, haptics type. This we are showing, we are running this, device. It is running ahead. We are getting this. These are also facial expressions. It's not that these are the gestures. What we are talking, these are the different mood of life, and we are passing this symbol. These are the proxemics. We talk about the social distance among ourselves while we are interacting with the people. We are supposed to maintain the social distance. These are the recommending social distance. You can say the 0 to 50 centimeter if you are intimate, I mean your spouse, your relations, your extremely close friend, your personal space is like this, 0.5 to 1 meter. That is a personal space. You should maintain it. And this is, you are in the public, then you are 4 meter ahead. Of course 4 meter is very difficult for our practical aspects of life, but this is the recommended. And of course you can well understand what pandemic taught us. Key social distance is how much? 6 feet. Government recommended distance is 6 feet. So this is also showing like that in the public, in the formal area, in the professional area, we can maintain such distance. This is an assertive communication style, the positive communication style. So how you can maintain a positive communication? I mean, you can expect the person will talk to you healthy, talk to you affectionately, talk to you emotionally, or it will receive what you are communicating, what you are passing the information, it should receive it. So it is like 3 factors are playing in a major role, that is the inclusion, control, and affection. Inclusion means how much you prefer to observe other people. I mean, how much you are including. You are ready to include, you are ready to accept people. Some people are not ready. Some people are very skeptical. Some people are very doubtful. Some people are very apprehensive. Some people are fearful, scared. They cannot do the inclusion. If you like the people, if you include the people in your life, then I think it will be a positive signal or positive symbol, so that people will be appreciating you. Second one is the control. You are ready to control the communication process. You are you are intending to have the command over the communication process. So third one is the affection. How much you are including people in your life, how much you are showing the affinity. Both are different. How much you are showing the empathy, how much you are showing the affinity, but how much you are ready to accept the people. Inclusion means how much you are ready to allow them to communicate to you, but how much your affection you are ready to listen patiently. So it is more deeper. So we talked about inclusion, control, and affection. 3 factors are playing role in the positive sides. And this is just a supplementary to the assertive communication characteristics association with the needs. So we already discussed inclusion, control. So these are the inclusion, including several words which are having the meaning in our life, the distinction, the recognition, the participation, involvement, acknowledgement, that we are allowing people to acknowledge our activities, etc. And control is the power, directive, decisive, responsible, and consistent. I mean, you are going to control the talk, control the communication process, control the facts and figures, and you are having an upper edge in the negotiation table. Affection is the supportive, consensus-oriented, sensitive faithfulness. So assertive, depending upon effectiveness, which already we discussed, people will be, if their communication is much more effective, then they will be assertive. Assertive means it's the positive and communication will go forward. Here is the role of manager. Why it is in this slide, although role of manager is very basic and very fundamental, rudimental, and relevant to the organizational behavior. It's the Mintzberg. Henry Mintzberg has given the 10 points role. One is, that is the interpersonal role, informational role, and decisional role. So interpersonal role is the communication role, and also here, informational also communication, because it is collecting the information, disseminating the information, passing the information. So information is passed through what? Information is passed through communication, and this is interpersonal, directly relevant to the communication. And the decisional, roles, where the management takes the decision. Here comes the problem of prejudice. Suppose we want to communicate, our preoccupied mind or prejudiced mind stops it. It acts as a barrier of the communication. So it is talking, including, if you see the slides, then you can see this affect, emotion, and moods. Suppose our emotion is not in good shape. I'm angry, I'm sad. So can I communicate? I can't. Suppose I'm having the functions of the emotions heavy on me. I mean, I'm crying, I'm very sad, I'm moody, I'm mood swings are happening. Then sources of emotions and moods and application of emotion and moods, frustration, I'm stressed out, I'm frustrated, I cannot communicate. So here it is a elaboration, detailed elaboration of the affect, emotion, and the moods. We talk about, when we talk about affect, if you remember, affect is one part of your ABC model of your attitude. Affect is the first one when you are expressing certain intentions. So that is the first stage we are having it. Then after that, our emotions are flowing out, blowing out, and we are passing the emotions, and the moods are the deeper concentrating the emotions. I mean, mood is, if you see emotion 1, emotion 2, emotion 3, emotion 4, emotion 5, then you get a mood. I mean, mood means is a mixture of a lot of emotions and a lot of emotional, situational impact on your mind. So that is there. So if we are affected by all this, then we cannot, communicate properly with our peers, subordinate, or seniors. So that is the function we already discussed about. Emotion and rationality are critical to rational thought. They help in understanding the world around us, because we are human being, we are emotional, persons. People call us emotional idiots, people call us emotional fools, because sometimes what happens, we do not able to express the right kind of emotion, the right kind of situation, because sometimes we need to laugh, we don't laugh. Sometimes we need to cry, we don't cry. Then people will say that this fellow's emotion is irrational. Suppose you are, one event, it was shown, sometimes I was there in the spot, I was thinking it is a mourning. I mean, somebody's demise was happened and people are there mourning. Some people, one gentleman came to the spot, and after a while, after 2 or 3 minutes, a phone came to him, and phone started ringing, and he went on accepting the phone. He was talking over the phone, where the situation is completely different. The situation is a mourning, people are in a sad mood, people are passing their grief, condolences, grief stricken people are there, condolences are flowing in, but you are talking over the phone. In one internet, there was a picture was going on viral. That means one grand old man was dying, and one grandson was sitting beside the bed and taking a selfie with the granddad. I mean, when somebody is dying, you are taking a selfie, or when your house is firing, you are, playing instruments. So this is almost certain that, emotion is not in proper shape. That is why, people were saying that in the historical, we all listened that the 16th Louis was playing guitar when the Rome was burning. I mean, when there was a lot of distress, lot of griefs, and a lot of problems happening around us, if we enjoy our life, then it is certainly the emotion is not at the proper shape. So in that case, we cannot expect our emotion, our communication will be proper. So we discussed about this and other source apart from the emotion, that is the weather, stress, social activity, and the sleep. So these are also affecting our communication. If it is a heavy chilled weather, of heavy summer weather, we stop talking, people we try to protect us. If you are stressed out, we are burned out, then also we do not communicate. And social activity, if it is very lesser in possibilities of people do not actively involve in the social activity, then where the scope of the communication. So, and sleep, if somebody is deprived of sleep, then he also cannot communicate properly. It is said that if a human being is deprived of sleep for 11 days, then he may die. So here certain things are there, and we talk about the application of emotions. I request the students, those who are watching the video, please think carefully. Please read the slides. so that we can discuss. And while I will be explaining all these, you can read my slides, you can read the points, bullet points, whatever being highlighted here, so that we can correlate whatever the points are shown to you and what I am talking to you. So in application of emotions, where we are applying our emotion and moods, and we are enriching our communications, that is the customer service. Customer service is directly dealing with the customers. We are convincing the customers, we are pursuing the customers to take a product of ours, and we are knowing that the customer will be listening to us and customer will be understanding our points. So this is the direct. Similarly, communication, leadership, motivation, negotiation, job attitude, and deviance, workplace behavior, conflict and frustration, where emotion plays a role. Then the point comes here, how your manager can change the mood. These are certain tips which the young people, young managers, budding managers can take as tips, as notes, how you can change the mood, how you can change the mood of your subordinates. Suppose your subordinates are having a gloomy view, gloomy mood, then how you can recharge them, reload them, re-energize them, re-motivate them. So you have to understand it, because you are supposed to lead a team. So one point is the humor. Sometimes we are also passing jokes, and we are talking with people in a lighter vein. You might be seeing in the new year, many people are using in parties jokes, get together dance parties, and all these jam sessions. So people are organizing this and cutting jokes on one another, doing mimicry, doing caricature, so doing a lot of mono plays and duo plays. People are going on displaying their roles in the organization in a different manner, which will encourage people to laugh. Many students are also passing comments on us, passing compliments on us, and also doing mimicry or caricature on the teachers, so that we, the teachers, is they are not getting angry. Trust me, believe me, the teachers don't get angry. Rather, the teacher is getting a scope to get his own personality reflected in somebody's mind. So if I commit any mistake, if I do any mistakes, and it is caught in the eyes of the students, and the students is displaying in a joyful manner, in a funny manner, so it is not to be angered, it is to be enjoyed. Rather it is giving us a scope to improve our matter, our mood, and our interactive patterns. So like this, in the small token of appreciations, we celebrate with gifts, with shawls. We appreciation them. We pass appreciation, good mood with hope, hire positive people. This is quite important. In a recruitment, normally HR people see the attitude, test the attitude whether you are a positive man or not. So everything that's why we usually give training inside the classroom to maintain the positive spirit in your mind, so that it will be showing your personality as in a positive sign. I mean, forward looking positive people are always expected to various organizations. The HR people are first and the first and foremost duty of them to check the attitude of the person, whether he is in a positive mood. Some people, if you see government sector, you find many people are highly negative oriented, because in one reason or another they've found out the loopholes of the government mechanisms, the government working styles, etc. So that is bad. So this is a taste. I would like to people to be ready with your pen and paper. So you can taste. You can take a snap of this. Snap of this, so that I'll be giving you some time that you read the questions. We are using the Likert scale here. So instruction is there. Kindly give your response by putting a tick mark. Whichever is the right, whichever it is applicable to you, it will be showing your type D personality we talk about, which is not theorized, which is not contextual to your syllabus oriented point, but we understand whether person is fitting to the social world, whether person is passing the required amount of emotion, right kind of emotion to the right kind of the situation. That's why it is very much essential in our own life. So that's why the first question you see, it is having only 14 questions. Please take a snap, and whichever is applicable to you, put a tick mark here. After that, what happens? These are divided into yellow color and orange color. Okay, so these yellow colored people are showing you the social innovative. I mean, people are they are innovative people. They are reserved kind of people, and the orange color is showing the negative affectivity people. So for example, when I meet people for the first time, I make friendship quite really. If you are innovative, if you are reserved, then you cannot make the friendship quickly. You cannot. And next question is that the negative affectivity, or any you can say lewd comments. You understand, somebody passed to you, somebody hurled any bad comments towards you, how far you are taking to the heart, how far you are a thin skin, how far you are sensitive, that is also to be tested. So this is there. Many times unnecessary things for which I repent later. There are many questions. So social innovative and negative affectivity are being tested here. I repeat it. In the yellow colored marks are your social innovative reserve kind of people questions, and the orange colored questions, equally divided questions, orange colored questions are showing your negative affectivity. But the point is that the thing you should remember, how you are marking here, you will be putting the tick mark in any Likert scale. I mean, if you are very strongly agree, you will put a tick mark here. You just agree. Psychological statements are given here, you just agree, you put a tick mark here. Then while you are scoring, you are bound to group the questions like this. I mean, 1, 3, 6, 8, and 10, 11, 14 questions. 14 questions are relevant, are bundled together to express your social innovative questions. In this case, please maintain a cautious that in the first and third question, you have to mark reverse. First and third question out of this bundle, what I just told you, a bundle of social innovative or SIE. Social innovative things or SIE, you will be bundling together to know whether you are social innovative or social open. Okay, if the scores are less than 10, then your social innovative is not there. But many people score more than 15, more than 20. These people are extremely innovative in the society. I mean, extremely reserved or introvert kind of people. Here, while you are marking this, you should be, please be cautious that the first and third question out of this bundle, out of these questions, will be marked reverse. Marked reverse means if you are marking actually here, it will not be 4, it will be score 1 for you. Sorry, 0 to you. It is starting 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I mean, if you are marking strongly agree, then it will be giving a number of 0 only for question 1 and only for question 3. Rest of this question, as per this numerical shown to you, you have to summarize this, you have to sum up this. I mean, suppose you have marked here the one question you have marked strongly agree, then your score will be 0 here. Okay, and again you have marked here agree, then score will not be 3, the score will be 1 here, because it starts from 0 for question number 1 and 3. It starts from 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. It's a reverse order for question number 1 and 3. So suppose you are marking here, then your question, instead of 3, your question will be 1. So this is 0 plus 1. Now you are putting here, suppose you strongly agree, then it's 4. It is not reverse order, it is the natural order. So here 0 plus 1 plus 4, I mean cumulative is of 5. Suppose again you are having this here strong, then 5 plus 3, 8. Then you are both, if you are marking agree or indifferent, then if suppose you are marking indifferent, then 2 plus 2, 8 plus 2, 10 plus 2, 12. And the last one, suppose you are marking strongly agree, then 12, you are 12 plus 4, I mean 16. Your score is 16 of social innovative bundle. I mean, you are a reserved kind of people, you are an innovative kind of people, you have to improve in the personal life, in the social life. Okay, because it is showing that if it is saying that if the score is less than 10, then you are not innovative, you are perfectly tuned. Similarly, the orange colored questions are bundled together, and in that case no reverse order markings are required. You directly add the numbers wherever you put a tick mark, and at the end you see that if the score is less than 11, then your type D personality test is active and you are not affected by the negativity. Our negative affectivity is very less in you, and you are perfectly fit into the environment. But if it is more than 11, I mean 12, 13, 15, 17, etc., if you find it out, then you have to take care. I mean, negative things are affecting you very quickly. You are very thin-skinned and you are very sensitive people. Then you will find very difficult to adaptive in the circumstances, the situation. So with this, I can tell you that what type of person you are. You test your personality about like this. In the same syllabus, the module we are having how impression about others formed, how we are forming impression about others. There are also several techniques and several instruments to check that how you are thinking about others, forming impression about others. So this is called a social perception. Perception, everybody knows that perception, we are talking about three factors. The factors regarding the perceiver, who perceives; the factor regarding the object, what we are perceiving; and factor regarding the context, the situation or the timeline where we are perceiving it. Three factors are playing a role. So this is a social perception when we are talking about perceiving in the social context. We are perceiving in the social context. So this is social perception. So here the social perception, if you see this, then I was just talking about the perceiver characteristics, then familiarity with the target, attitude, mood, self-concept, cognitive. These are your who is perceiving. And these are the target achievements, whom you are perceiving, I mean the object or the target. And here the context where you are talking, but these barriers are there. Barriers you must have studied in the OB, the barriers of the perception. These are selective perception, stereotyping, first impression error, projection, self-fulfilling prophecies are there. So if the barriers can be successful overcome, then your perception will be perfect. So this is another point, that impact of the social pressure. Sometimes we are not able to, do as we desire. We are not able to do because of the social pressure. We are behaving in a different way. Here, one very good video I will like to play. That is the Solomon Asch study on the conformity explained. That means, how we are under pressure, under social pressure, even if it is correct to us, I say no, it's wrong. So that is one, impact of the social pressure we can understand. Let us see this video so that you can more understand about it.
Thank you so much for watching. Today's video is on Solomon Asch's conformity study. My name is Brian Collin. Remember, the best way to study is to take practice tests. If you can't find your practice tests, make your own and learn while you do it, or check our growing list of test banks for one in your field of study. Sign up for free at learnmytest.com. You can also click on the link in the description to take a practice test that I made using the Learn My Test tool. Asch's study started by taking people into a room where they were video recorded. He would initially tell them that they are taking a visual perception test. He would ask them to identify whether line A, B, or C was closest in length to line X. Seems pretty easy, right? I'm sure you can tell in this example that line B is the correct answer. Asch needed proof that this task was easy in order to set up his real experiment. He gave study participants 12 similar items, asking them to compare lines. Asch found that people got the correct answers by themselves about 99% of the time, so literally all the time. He can now conclude that this is an easy task where the correct answer is usually obvious. The second leg of the experiment, Asch had actors or confederates sitting in a classroom with the actual study participant. However, the study participant had no idea that these were actual actors. He thought they were other participants in the study. And so they were all asked to judge the length of lines, similar to in the first leg of the study. The study actors were told by the experimenter to purposefully pick the wrong answer. So in the case of the previous item, the Confederates or the actors would purposely pick the line C, even though the answer is obviously B. So now back to the classroom. You have three actors who are going to call their answers aloud, and the actual participant who is waiting his turn to answer the question. It's the first actor's turn. She answers incorrectly line C as instructed by the experimenter. It's the second actor's turn, and he also answers line C incorrectly as instructed. It's the third actor's turn, and she also answers line C as instructed. Meanwhile, as you can imagine, the participant is confused because he knows the correct answer, but everyone in the crowd is answering it wrong. Ash found that participants go against the group and get the correct answer about 8 out of 12 trials, which is a lot lower than answering 12 correct, which is what you generally found by yourself. Even more striking is that 3 and 4 people purposefully miss at least one answer to go along with the group. This shows that most people may do something they know is wrong in order to fit in or conform to the group. Ash found that when actors answer different incorrect answers, like in the past example, one answered A and the other answered C, or when you add 2 participants instead of 1, the odds of conforming or purposefully answering the wrong answer to go along with the group decrease significantly. In fact, only 5% of subjects missed the trials when 2 participants were included in the same group. So when you have a buddy, it's a lot easier to resist conforming a wrong answer to go along with the group. Ash's study is an influential and important study in psychology because it shows that we will purposefully do things we know are wrong to conform to the group. We are less likely to conform when we know there's someone else in a group.
Yes. So here the moral of this video is showing that the study shows that we will purposely do things we know are wrong to conform with a group. I mean, only to be with the group, we say wrong. Just now we saw in the video that when the actors, which are pseudo participants, but the real participant doesn't know that they are actors, they are purposefully saying line C is similar to the line X, but actually the line B is similar to the line X. And the participant knows that line B is similar to the line X, but because the other people are saying line C, he also said line C. So sometimes this happens, and also you can relate the students. I request, if you think about the group decision making, group dynamics portion of your organizational behavior, there is a term group think. And group think means, even if the group member doesn't agree to the group, but still they agree. They show their agreement only to be with the group, even if the decision is wrong. So we often come under pressure of our life, that what is happening, we are working under pressure, that is there, we are having so this we already discussed about this hours slides, and we understand how the communication is going better way, and all these things are necessary in our life. And with this I stop it, and we discussed about this second module, and we talked about how the communication takes place, and what are the factors that is affecting the communication, and what are the factors that is affecting the assertive communication. That's quite important, the positive communication, and how our mood, our role, our affect, our experiences play a role in the communication, whether people are accepting us or rejecting us. That we discussed about it. And also we discussed about how under the social pressure we act in a certain manner which is not acceptable to us. We are otherwise not behaving. We are not supposed to behave, but because of the social pressure only we behave in that manner. So that with this I end here, and I will come up with another video where the application of the psychology in the educational sector, which is the third module of the Bangalore University syllabus. We are going in the structured manner, in the sequential manner. So I request all of you to please subscribe the channel and please share and like the channel. If you like the video, if you understood the points, actually it will help you in passing the examination, to write the examinations. Then with this, I hope you live well, stay safe, and we will be come out with a new video regarding this. So thank you everybody for watching this video. I stop it.